Sorry, you guys. I hit the wrong button. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Let me give the, put out the new link. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Yeah, thank you, Peplin. So when I was trying to stop my phone, I ended up hitting the wrong button, and it killed the whole stream instead of just stopping it on my phone. I know, and we still hit them. Golly, like I said, I am sorry. I am really sorry. Hopefully everybody can find us back. Let me pin it, the new stream. Oh man, oh man. Let me. Didn't I freaking do that? I know I did. I know I put it in there. It's not. Paste. There, now it's there. Okay. All right. Now I just quickly threw that up there. So let me, like, okay. That. Okay. Comments. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, Patrick. I did it. I hit the wrong button when I was pulling my phone or trying to turn my phone off. And I hit the wrong button and killed the whole stream.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, what did I do? COC, famous last words. I know. The cribs are super cool. Good. I like them. I think they're real
they're one of my favorite fish.
Yeah.
I love cribenzas.
I think they're real personable. Once they get over the fear of it being in like a new tank or whatever, they're real personable to me. Yeah, Ian, that's what I said. Oh shit.
Oh no.
Yep. So did. I sure did. I'm just glad y'all were able to find the new one.
I just dumped Mountain Dew all over the place.
Oh,
I'm gonna have a sticky floor. Oh. I don't know if you heard any of my comments while you were showing those cribenzas.
I did. I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why you should cull those.
Okay.
They didn't have any obvious deformities. You can't go on color because they may not just, they're not colored up.
Oh.
You know, they're subdominant, you know, when they're in that group. You can take a cichlid that doesn't have a lot of color and put it in a different tank and different surroundings, and it feels more dominant and it'll color up.
Oh, so, okay. And because those over here are getting bigger, so they're starting to
show their
yeah.
They're starting to show their colors and
they need to. In fact, I don't want no more babies right now. I've still got more than one I can handle. That's why I separated the males and females for the big ones that I was breeding. But I'm worried now that these guys up here are getting to the point of being big enough to start mating.
Selling.
Yeah, so I'm
to start selling.
Yeah. I tried to sell 50 of them on Aquavid as a group, and I went off of what other people were selling them for. So it's not like I had mine for more or anything, but I didn't have any bites. That's okay. I like what you said, Patrick. I do. It's okay. He was telling me that it was okay that I hit the wrong button. And he said Louisiana Empress. So now he's telling everybody to hit the like button, the new like button. Man, that was funny. Mountain Dew is better than spilling beer.
Well, spilling beer is a crime, isn't it?
Yeah. I hope nobody was like typing questions as it ended. Oh well. Retype.
My filament barbs are playing soccer.
Oh no way.
Yeah, they do this. One of them has got a piece of the substrate, you know, a little tiny piece of gravel.
Hey, Corinna,
and then he'll spit it out, and another one will go after it, and they'll keep just doing that.
Oh wow, that's fun.
Except they're not doing it. Normally they do it a lot faster, but
yeah. Hey, Corinna, are you leaving? Did I even know you were in the stream? Golly, I didn't miss you. I'm sorry if I did. Hey, Pogger. Hey, Fish. No, was Corinna in the other one?
Oh, God.
I don't remember that. You might still have people on the other live wonder what happened here. I don't. Well, I mean, it ended. So it shouldn't, nothing should be live anywhere else except for here now. Right? Yeah, I mean, so I have it hit the wrong button one, and then I'll go to my channel. And this one ended 8 minutes ago. And chat is ended. So there, yeah, it's ended. It's out of there. So
well, at least you didn't do like Bob Kaler did the other day, and I don't know, it was like last week or something. He closed them out. He closed all his windows out in the wrong order. So his StreamYard stayed on while he was trying to go to somebody else's channel. And he was like yelling at people going, "Get off this stream."
Oh, how funny.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Oh my gosh. My alarm went off for the new one. Oh, you did get a notification for this one, Patrick. Good. Frontier, hello. Heck, it might have been a good thing to redo it, huh? We got more people up in here now. Chubbs might still wonder what the hell. No, he knows. Because when you're on StreamYard and say you hit the end broadcast button, and I have it synced with my phone, so I can do whatever here that I can do here on the computer. And that's how I was accidentally ended it, because I thought I was backing out of it on my phone instead of ending it, and I ended the stream. But you can do a live or get on StreamYard and talk to other people if you give them the link without ever going live. And so you can use it as like a Zoom, but never go live and talk on the background. And that's what we did when I accidentally ended the stream. And I told Chubbs and Terry that that's what I had done. I had accidentally hit it. So before
I didn't even look at the chat. I just saw your screen went blank, and I was like, yeah, she screwed up.
Yeah. So, yeah. So here we are.
Yeah, Adkins, I want to thank you. Now I got to spend more money because that's another fish that I got to buy now because I've never had it before. So, yeah, thanks for that.
Jen says, I'll get more likes for the day. Well, I promise I didn't mean to do it. Still new to this myself, yeah. I like StreamYard. I forget that when I'm on my phone that I can't hit the back button. I have to go by, you know, what's on the screen and go by the directions. If I hit the back button, it ends the broadcast. And yeah, that's what happens. I will be right back. Terry, I'm going to go heat my coffee up real quick.
Oh, God.
I know. It'll be just a minute.
What do you guys want to babble about? Yeah, Chewy's exactly right. And Chewy's made this comment before, and I kind of wanted to say a little bit about it. Yeah, especially on, you watch a lot of these streams, and people say, sometimes people will just say cichlids, and there's just so many cichlids in general. I mean, it's one of the largest families of fishes out there. And you say, well, you kind of got to narrow it down. And then they'll say, well, African cichlids. When people say African cichlids, everybody's mind kind of just generates to the Rift Lake cichlids, which are, there's 3 ginormous lakes in Africa. And that's what everybody thinks of. But there's a ton of cichlids in Africa that are not from the Rift Lake. And they actually take softer water conditions, and they're just entirely different. And we're never going to change it. We're not going to change when somebody says African cichlids. They're just automatically going to think Rift Lake cichlids. But yeah, there's a ton of West African cichlids out there that are from river type environments or stagnant pools of water. Yeah, there's a ton of other African cichlids out there besides what we call the Rift Lake cichlids. When you have little lines of bubbles coming out of your plant, that's called purling, and usually it's just a buildup of oxygen. So the plant releases it, and it comes out as just a line of little tiny bubbles. Yeah, it's a good thing. Purling in a plant is generally a good thing. Sometimes you'll see people, if you do a water change, people will also see bubbles on their plants, and they'll say their plants are purling, but usually it's just because of the water change. But yeah, if your plant's just, you know, doing its thing through the day and you see that line of bubbles coming out of it, it's called purling, and it's just a release of oxygen.
Okay, I'm going to try and go back in my phone because I want to show you the tank that I set up last night. Just remember, not in broadcast this time. Okay. I'm going to mute that one, and I'm going to mute this one. And okay, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I like that red plant.
That's the lily. It goes up to the top. There's one of the there's one of the goldfish. They look so small in this tank. But that's it. I mean, they got to grow. The rest of the plants got to grow, but I think it's a cute little thing.
And this is the one you just set up?
Yeah, I set it up last night. But see, like under the sand, there's mostly, it's all gravel, and it was the gravel that was in the tank, and this tank had been set up for several years. That's why I went with keeping the gravel, because it already had all the good stuff in it.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, and then it's got the hang on back here. The wheel's not moving right now because I got that filter stuff in it.
Yeah, the freaking wheels are useless anyways. Just take it off.
Okay. And then, so yeah, but yep. This is the tank that either, I don't know, either one or the other. I'm worried about the plants. So my question was, when I go RO and I add back minerals, how will my plants adjust?
Well, again, you just asked a really quick question that requires a super complicated answer, and it depends on what you're trying to accomplish and how you're remineralizing your water and what kind of water you're actually trying to go for. If you do what I recommend, where you're just mixing in some RO to dilute your minerals so you can keep the Caridina shrimp, your plants will be fine. It's not going to be an issue. What about
for like the electric brew rams or the discus?
Right. Yeah, your plants will be just fine.
Okay. Then I'm going to show you this other tank. I don't have any water in it yet, but this is the 40 breeder. But this is that piece of wood that I was saying that.
Holy crap!
You see how cool it is?
It is cool.
I mean, this is like my dad got it for me, and I've used it as just a centerpiece for a long time. But I don't know. I love it. So and it'll fit in this tank. But this is the one that I was asking about resining, because I don't want to lose it completely, because like this piece right here, I mean, it's,
Yeah, but see, if you coated it with something, it's still going to disintegrate.
Oh.
It's just a natural process. It's going to happen.
And then it's been like dried out for I can't tell you how long, so I haven't even started to get it wet. But I love it. Like
I would just enjoy it while you have it, and yeah, I wouldn't try to coat it with anything, because it's just not going to work.
Okay. I love it though. But so what should go in the discus should not go in this with that, because of their size and stuff, right?
No, I don't see any reason why you couldn't keep a discus or two in that tank.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking maybe it would fit better for the rams, and then the other tank that has the goldfish in it would do better for the discus.
It's hard to tell. How tall is that tank?
This tank.
What size tank is that?
It's a 40 breeder.
Yeah, you can keep a discus in a 40 breeder.
Well, this one over here is a 38.
Yeah, it's a taller tank.
But I figured the way that I had it set up is a little better for the discus than the one over here that has the big piece of wood in it.
That's a judgment call.
Okay.
Yeah, that's completely up to you as a fish keeper.
Okay. All right, now let me see how I can get out of this.
I think either or would be great. With that big piece of wood, I think rams would look fantastic in that tank, especially if you did a dark substrate. But yeah, there's no reason why you can't keep a discus in a 40 breeder. I wouldn't keep a bunch, but you could keep a couple.
I'm muted. Why don't you say something, Terry?
Well, no, I was kind of laughing, actually.
So
I was just about to comment whatever she's saying is really important to her. And then you figured it out. And I was like, doggone it.
Oh my gosh. So what I was saying was that I think that, or I'm going with 5 small ones. And then when they grow and they pair off, I'll move the other ones. And then that pair will be just in that 40.
Yeah.
And then I'll either move the others to a tank or I'll sell them. But I think my judgment is I'm gonna put them in the 38 because it's taller.
You're right.
And then I'll use the 40 breeder for the rams.
Yeah, and that goes by. Somebody else was saying the exact same thing. Yeah, and I've always said that with angelfish too. Angelfish like a taller tank. But
hey Peter,
they're it's not like you can't have a discus in a shorter tank like a 40 breeder, but it once your discus reaches like dinner plate size, well, yeah, you're gonna have to, you have to keep your fish in size appropriate tanks. But a small discus in a 40 breeder is just fine. I mean, it's going to take a while before you're going to have to put it in something bigger.
Right. I need some more coffee. Chewy said, "Love liked watching my sign language."
No, it was great, man. You were talking to beat the band, not a word out of it. And I honest to God was going to say, man, whatever she's saying is some really important stuff.
Wow. GRV said, "I thought it was my computer with no sound." Oh. Oh, funny day. I killed the stream and now I'm muted myself. What a day.
No, it was great, man. Yeah, I'm not. If you want the host that's going to tell you right away when you're muted, I'm not the guy because I'll make fun of you. I got no problem.
That's great. You reminded me of my Italian friends. They talk with their hands. Oh, I so talk with my hands.
Yeah, I'm so bad at it. If you watch my streams, I'm always doing something with my hands. I'm either rubbing them together or I'm rubbing them on my legs. Specifically because I want to do something with my hands, and I'm like, ugh.
Look, I have a habit, and it's really weird. Everybody else is going to think it's weird, but when I was little, I had satin that went around my blanket, and I would go to sleep rubbing the satin together. Well,
that's so cool. That's so weird because I have done the exact same thing.
Okay, so now I found these vests that a few years ago I had made and embroidered with my business name at the time on them. And so the inside lining of them is satin. And I have one in my truck. I have one on my bed. I have one on the couch. And I have one attached to my chair in here. So if I'm not moving my hands, that's what I'm doing, is sitting there rubbing the satin together.
So you don't have a fidget spinner. You've got satin.
That's right. I don't have a fidget spinner. I've got satin. And the bad thing is I'm like really attached to it. So like if I get in the truck and I don't have it, I smoke a lot more. And it's just something to keep my hands busy. And then, but if I feel like if I don't have it, I'm like, it's like losing your phone or not having your phone. You feel
it's so weird. And I can't believe we're talking about this on a public forum that people can actually see. But I honestly thought I was the only one on the planet that would take the edges of a blanket and just sit and rub it.
Yep.
I honestly thought I was just weird.
No, my husband thinks I'm weird, but I've done it for, well, a few years now. I didn't do it like for 20 something years. And then when I found these, man, boom, I was right. But now I can't do without it. But I guess at least I'm not weird and eating it or something. You know, like that one person that eats the sofa stuffing. Oh my gosh. I need a whoopee. Hey, Bob. Yeah, those are the things about me that are off, but that's okay.
God, it's so weird. You are literally the first person I've ever met that admitted to doing that, and that I've done that with blankets forever. I mean, ever since I can remember.
Yeah.
I buy blankets specifically.
Yes.
I look at what the edges are.
That's anytime I buy a jacket or a vest, it has got to have the line, and that way I can just put my hands in the pockets and nobody knows what I'm doing.
I have never ever met anybody that's admitted to doing that before. I always thought it was just me.
Yeah, Patrick, that's okay with me. Good. I mean, I'm the same person. I just have a weird habit. It keeps me calm.
What's going on, Rico? How you doing?
Did you see what he said?
No.
I like to rub things before I go. But we won't go into details.
Rico's really good at those one-liners.
I know, right? Geek Boy says, I'm not sure that proves that you're weird. Well, good. But we're all a bit weird in our own good way. Yep.
And then I see Bob came in the stream. And Bob, we were talking about you earlier when you couldn't close out your StreamYard, and it was get off my stream.
Oh my gosh. You have a worry stone. There you go. Oh, COC does it with fabrics too. See, we're not weird, Terry.
Oh, I am weird. Trust me.
We're the only
I got that part figured out. I'll be right back. I gotta let the dogs out. My one dog's over here staring at me going, dude, you gonna let me out or what?
Can't cross my legs anymore, man. Bree, LOL. Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, my stomach hurts. Oh. So yeah. See, y'all just get to know me more and more. Wish I had a doom a hitchy. In fact, I'm gonna go grab something to pull my hair up with. I'm gotten hot. Hold on. All right. Didn't think I was going to have to go all the way to the other end of the house to find something to pull my hair back with, but hey, you know what? Hey, Jess, I will do all of your descriptions later. Would you like some 2 p.m. the stream this morning? Whoa, wait, would you like some 2 p.m. the stream this morning? I don't know what you mean, Bree. Oh, Jen, you're so sweet. Satin covered bubble wrap. This evening, chat, Ed and I are having a dueling interview, question for question, stimulus interviews over each other. It'd be funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it will. Ooh, I can't wait to be a lurker on that.
Yeah, Bob, that actually does sound interesting.
Oh, hi, Bree. Oh, she made it funny. She said, would I like the descriptions done on the 2 streams this morning? Lord help me. Oh, my gosh. I got to call the vet and find out what time I'm supposed to be there. I think it's 2. Bree, did you hear me about maybe not being able to make the stream today because I'll be at the vet with the puppies. I don't know if I'll be back in time. I know, I can't wait to see that too.
All right, you'll have to ask the question, do you rub the satin on your blankets?
Do I rub the satin on my blankets?
No, that's for Bob. He's going to have to ask Chattanooga Ed.
There you go. He looks like somebody that would probably do that. I've been scheduling my video releases for future release, but not released that they don't get shared with other social media as easily. What?
I think I know what GRB's getting at. Yeah, I don't rely on like places like Facebook or whatever to promote a video. In fact, I don't. I'm probably the wrong person to talk to about the subject because I don't promote any of my videos in any way, shape, or form. So I don't know if it helps, to be honest with you.
Right. I don't either. The only thing that I've ever done on Facebook is or paid ads. Now, sometimes I've done one for the puppies, but I'll put on a really big like cutting show like a few years ago with a really famous have y'all ever seen the show called The Cowboy Way?
I saw a movie called The Cowboy Way.
There's a mini series that's also called The Cowboy Way, and one of the guys on there's name is Booger Brown, and I know, but he I got him. He trains horses and does lessons and all kinds of stuff himself. And I got him to come and give lessons to the 4-H. Anyway, I ended up going in debt $5,000 for these kids, but
wow.
Yeah, that was hard to do. But I didn't know that was going to happen. But anyway, that's a whole other subject. But anyway, that's the only other thing that I ever did on Facebook to paid ads for was. But yeah, I'd do anything for those kids, even go into debt.
Yeah, and that's a wonderful thing. I don't mean to.
No.
It's a really, really great thing, but I kind of wanted to change the subject as a personal question to me, since Bob brought it up. We're going to ask different questions. How often do you barrel race? I haven't done it about a year. Well, yeah, I've been off for about a year now. When the COVID hit, everything, they shut all the barrel races down and everything. And I let my horse get, she's not in shape anymore. And then work during the winter was very sparse. And so, it's been about a year now. That's a sport. I'm not a person that really knows hardly anything about horses, but when the county fair rolls around, it's always an event I've always, wanted to watch. And
I love it.
Many, many, many years ago, when I first got into photography, and I got my first really honest to God zoom lens that could actually kind of reach out and touch someone.
Yeah.
I took it to a barrel racing event, and where I was sitting, I was directly in front of the last barrel.
Oh, sweet.
So I was zoomed in on just that barrel pretty much. And the action shots I got while the horse and rider are going around that last barrel, is just incredible. And how some of these riders and that horse too, how low they can get trying to get around that barrel is just, it's like, wow, I didn't even know a horse could actually do that.
Yep. It's amazing. I mean, for people that like, I don't know how to explain it. I like to be, I'm not going to say free, but I just like to be out there and in the wind and in sync with my horse. And it's just an amazing feeling. It's adrenaline too. Like the adrenaline rush that I get before I go in the arena, and then you forget about everything when you're in the arena. And then, you know, it's also a competitive thing, and I can be pretty competitive. So I don't know. I've always done it. I grew up doing it, and
I've never had the opportunity to grow up on a farm, but I had a couple relatives that did. So occasionally when I'd come to visit, you know, we do the just trail riding and stuff like that. But I've never had a horse, never had the land to have a horse.
Yeah.
But the whole barrel racing thing has always fascinated me, and more so after that day where I had that camera. And you're exactly right. I mean, the way these guys are riding those horses, guys and gals.
Yeah.
That horse has to trust that rider.
Yep.
And on the exact same page, that rider is trusting that horse.
That's right.
I'm telling you, they're in a very precarious position when they're going around that barrel.
Yep.
And man, it's
a lot of trust.
And a lot of those pictures are some of my favorite pictures I've ever taken.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. I'm pretty sure I have it on this computer. Back 20 years ago when I was married to my first husband. I've got old pictures of going around the third barrel then, but Dan has got the pictures of recently, most of them, but I don't know. I can't find the old ones, but I was riding a paint horse like the one that I sold to Amber that still breeds with me, and like almost identical horse, but I guess I don't have it on here anymore.
And meanwhile, half of the people in the chat don't even know what we're talking about.
Oh, I'm not even looking at chat at the moment because
this is Terry's way to kill a live stream.
No, I think a lot of people like to hear the other sides of us too. Like I tell all of my horses to bow, and that's just spending a lot of time with your horses for the most part. They got to learn. You got to have trust, and that is one of the biggest keys to barrel racing or anything like that is trust. You got to trust that horse with everything you're in your body, because if that sucker stumbles and flips or whatever, you break your neck.
How much work is it to train a horse to do barrel racing? It's
a lot of work. You got two different people. You got the people that are in it to compete and want, it doesn't have to necessarily start out with an expensive horse, but you have to know how to give that horse the foundation or the fundamentals before you ever show it a barrel pattern. And then you have people that just get on a horse and start running around the barrels. And so there are two different people. And then another reason I kind of started, I went through phases with barrel racing, because it can be, as it is, you and your horse, and you're there to compete and everything else. It reminds me of if you get a whole bunch of women in an office and they all start bickering. Well, that's how it can be at these barrel races because mostly it's just women. And it can get a pretty bad rap because there begins to be like, I explain it like, you got a friend or you got a group of friends and you go in to run your barrel pattern and you do real good and you come out. Well, they're cheering you on and everything, but the whole time you're in that arena, they're talking behind your back. You know? And that is it. And so I quit running barrels for a while and went to doing ranch sorting, which is cutting cattle pretty much. And we did that and we went to finals in Fort Worth about 4 or 5 years ago. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of money too. Jesus. But
you haven't seen a bunch of guys that try to fish professionally for money. Yeah, you'd be surprised what gets said about you behind your back. It's when you're always face to face. We're always hi, how you doing? You know, we act like we're all friends, but as soon as they say okay, ready, set, go, we all hate each other, and right. It's terrible.
Yep. Y'all have all I don't know, whatever. We have dangerous animals in Australia, but horses are crazy.
Scary.
Oh, scary. I don't know. I said crazy. Somebody else said crazy somewhere. Just what kind of fish do I have for sale? Guppies, shrimp, crabenzas, mystery snails. That's about it.
I might have to pick up some crabenzas from you. I don't have any right now, and that is a fish that I've always liked having.
Just pay the shipping. I'll send them to you. Like I'm no kidding. I have got at least 200 of these things. And
see, that's the thing. I don't mean to derail anything, but that's the thing where every once in a while you hear the conversation of how you feed, like say you got a big Central American cichlid or something, and or some other type of predator, you know, a big predator fish, and they'll get on the conversation of what to breed so you could feed that predator. And everybody always says either guppies or some other type of light bearer.
Yeah.
But in all actuality, by sheer volume and numbers, you're better off with a cichlid. Cichlids breed a lot.
No kidding. Like
and you'll get a higher volume of protein breeding some kind of cichlid than you would a guppy. Cichlids will outbreed a guppy hands down any time.
I agree.
Way outproduce.
I got 200 in 2 months. I've got the ones that are in that tank are the biggest, are the first batch, which their brothers and sisters are in a tote down here on the floor.
Oh, you haven't seen anything. When I was breeding angels, one pair of angels would produce up to, 3, somewhere around between 200 and 300 babies a week.
Oh, wow. I've got those blue angels, and they were so pretty because the bluing is starting to come out in their fins now because they're getting older. Oh, they are so pretty. But I can't wait for them to start breeding. I don't know. My LFS doesn't want them until they're about 2 inches long, which
and again, Chewy did correct me. Chewy is correct. It depends on the cichlid. When you say cichlid, that's a huge, ginormous amount of different species. It's one of the largest groups of fish. So,
Fishymon,
Chewy, you are correct. Not all cichlids, but some cichlids will outproduce a light bearer any day of the week.
Yeah, I've got. Well, go get on my website and see what all I've got. Bree's buying the rainbows, so those aren't for sale. But well, I've traded with her, but I've got a bunch. But they're on my website. Wait, how many can I keep in a planted 75? Of the cribenzas?
A bunch.
Yeah. And you're going to have babies if that's what you want.
Yeah, did someone say convicts? Select Pet brought up convicts. The convicts in and of themselves is a rabbit hole you can go down, and there are some groups of convicts that are worth a lot more money than just the regular everyday convict. But I always love the new keeper of cichlids, and they breed convicts for the first time, and they're so happy with themselves. I've got these baby fish, and I'm so proud, and then they get crushed because nobody else wants them, and they're like, oh man, I'm so happy I bred this fish. And yeah, they're completely worthless because the entire market's saturated, and because they breed so easy. And it's like my heart breaks every time I see a new cichlid keeper that breeds convicts for the first time, because they're so happy and proud of themselves, and then they realize, yeah, all you got to the key to breeding convicts is keep them wet. As long as they're wet, they'll breed.
Fishymon, the Santa Clauses are going to breed as well. But the platinum tiger mosaic ones, that whole line is for sale, and there is a ton of them.
So like Pet said, I had to pay people to give these things away.
I know. I mean, I'm almost to the point of that with all these cribenzas, because I'm like, well, crud. I can't take them to my LFS until they're two inches long, and I don't have them all to that size yet. And I really need to thin them out because I don't feel like they can grow, enough, because I've got so many. And then
I would bag some up at the size they are now, because what I saw in the video you showed me, your local pet shop will probably take them.
Okay. Because yeah, I've got those; they're ready to go, and then I've got the tote at the bottom, or down here on the floor. There's at least 100 in there that are about an inch long. And then you've seen all the other new babies, which are in this tank, and they're half an inch long. So, like, I had 3 stages.
Right.
But there's only 2 batches. So, the ones that are really big and then the ones that are in that tote that are only an inch and a half is because there's so many of them in one place. I don't think they're able to enough to grow.
I would honestly bag up 20 to 30 of the biggest ones you have, and take them to your local fish shop and say, here. and I'll be willing to bet they take them. I'd be really surprised if they turned them away.
Okay.
You may not get cash. You might have to do the store credit thing, but
right. Well, they usually pay cash for everything else, and I don't. Like I said, I'll make a deal with them if they'll take more than what they normally would, because they are smaller. But Chewy, I believe these ones up here in this tank are.
See what Select Pet said?
Are sexable. As a former pet store owner, it is a lot harder to say no when the person already has the fish in the store. Yeah. Are your icicle line available, or your big-eared dark? Okay, the icicle line, I believe, is also going to Bree. She's getting the Santa Claus, the icicle, and the these rainbows, but the the tigers, and I do still have some mosaic, but the mosaic line needs some work because they're getting some yellow in their tails. But I do have a lot of those too. I still, trying to think if there's anything else, any other lines. Oh, I've got a bunch of these black snakeskin. They're like metal snakeskin, black metal snakeskins. I got a bunch of females, but I don't have a ton of males.
Go up there and lay down.
But I would like to sell most of them. I just want to keep like a trio. So that's I decided to do that with that line too. So the tigers and these black snakeskin and the purple mosaic, Dumbo purple mosaic. And I've got some, if anybody's wanting some beta sorority, I've got two sets. I just haven't gotten pictures of them because I don't want to take them out individually because I don't want to mess up their pecking order per se. I feel if I take them out of the tank and take pictures of them and then put them back, then I'm going to mess up their order. So I'm just going to have to get video and then show the video, I guess, to sell them because in taking individual pictures isn't going to happen.
Why not?
Like I said, I'm scared if I take them out and take individual pictures.
No. That's not my point. My point is why not just take pictures of them in that tank?
Well, one tank I can very easily. This other tank is a bowl. It's a big 3-gallon bowl.
Okay, I got you. It's a bowl, so it distorts the way the fish looks. I get it.
Yeah, I could get some video of them, but taking solid still pictures.
Trying to take a picture of a fish in a round container doesn't work. Right.
And like the other one is my 30-gallon hex. Now I can get pictures of them, but this bowl I can't. But I'd like to move them on to a new place too. Hey, do you think I can put those I think I can, especially right now. These longfin cory cats, these longfin panda cories, I can put them in there with those goldfish, right, on sand.
Yeah, as long as the temperature's okay for the cories. Yeah,
I've got it up to about 76.
Yeah, I don't see a problem.
I want to give them more room. They're only in a 3-gallon right here beside me, and I don't think it's enough room.
The goldfish police will probably crucify you, but
I don't care.
I don't see a problem with it.
Why? Why would a goldfish police get worried about that?
Oh, don't even get me started on that subject. The goldfish police are very adamant about a lot of things, and the only way you can keep goldfish is with goldfish. You can't keep them with tropical fish.
Do they not come from a place where they're mixed with other fish?
There.
I mean, that's a little common sense. This they don't have it, huh? Even though we think some things shouldn't go together, more than likely they're together already in the wild, and they do just fine. But
if you saw the size of the goldfish we're talking about, you would understand that they're not that big.
No, the biggest one I have is maybe 2 inches. These are babies. It's like that. Common sense expired a few years back.
Oh, it's gotten bad on places like Facebook. It's gotten to the point where I don't go on any Facebook site that deals with fish. I just don't do it because it just doesn't work. I actually got kicked off of the IFGA official Facebook page. I've literally been banned from it.
Wow.
And I consider myself a pretty reasonable kind of guy.
Fishymon, I am selling the whole line of the black metallics. I just want to keep a trio. That's it. So that's probably 100 fish. But like I said, there are so many more females than males. You can't put a whole bunch of trios together. What?
Now, Florida Fish brought up the joke from yesterday, life after Jess.
Yeah. No life after Jess today? Damn. That sucks. I wonder what I'll do.
Hey, Patrick Hardy, you can say but.
Yeah.
You don't have to you don't have to star out the term but.
Right. Yeah, you can say but. Just not the A.
Multifasciatus. I had to remove them from the colony for 1 month, so I added them back to the colony. Had to take them back out. Yeah, it's when it comes to shell dwellers, they make a hierarchy, and if you disturb that hierarchy, it might be difficult to add them back after the fact. But personally, I would, if I'm ever adding fish back to a colony like that, I would take all the fish out, totally rearrange the tank, so nobody's going to be dominant anymore, and then just dump them all back in and say, have at it. You guys figure it out. And they usually do.
Hey, Jen, I do still have the Dumbo Blue Dragon line, and that is a line I'm keeping, and I do have some of those for sale. I'm keeping most of my Dumbos, you guys. The Dumbo Dark Dragons, which are my favorite. The Dumbo Blue Dragons. The only ones that I'm getting rid of are the Dumbo Green Dragons, and that's because they are short body and won't breed. And so those are going to Swampy. Now, I thought that I was going to get rid of the Jades, but because I didn't have a female or couldn't find my female or whatever. But last night when I went to put them with the other ones, I found a bunch of babies. So I guess I'll hang on to them long enough to see if I'm going to have any more females and go from there with that line. But Tiger Half Moon's got to go. I'm keeping the albino. Oh, Chewy. I've got my F1s of the line that I'm working on. So I got the F1s were born the other day. I'm so excited. I know most people don't know what I'm talking about, but it's cool to me.
Well, what was the F0?
The F0, the mamas and the daddy, right?
Yeah, what are they?
Oh, so I'm trying to make my albino cherry snake skins Dumbos. And
I got you. You're trying to improve ventral fins.
Yes.
Or not ventral fins, pectoral.
Pectoral fin, yes. And so I took 2 of my Dumbo Dark Dragon Big Ear females and bred them to one of the male albino males. And so I've got from the first female, and I know which female it is too. It's the female with the most color on her. And these are hers and his babies. So these are the F1s.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Don't mind me.
No,
I can geek out on this all day long.
I know.
What's your plan for F2?
Okay. I get confused, but I know that, let's see, with the F1s, I won't get it. They'll all be dark. And then I take the F1s and breed them. The
Are you sibling to sibling?
no. Yet. Hang on, let me think.
Man, can I freaking confuse people in a heartbeat.
Oh my gosh. They've got both. They carry the albino gene, but they're dark. And to get the albino gene, yeah.
You're going to go for sibling to sibling?
Oh, shoot.
In other words, you're going to take the F1s.
Hang on, I got puppies out. Hang on, I got puppies out. I got puppies out. Why do I have puppies out? Why are puppies out of the cage?
Andre, we're talking about guppies. Well, while she's gone, I don't know in that situation if I would do a sibling to sibling cross, or I would take maybe 25% of them and do a sibling to sibling cross, and I would take the rest and I would take a male, my favorite male, and cross it back to the mother, the F0. So I would take the F1 male to the F0 female, and I would do the vice versa with the females. I would take the F0 male and cross back. But let's see what Jess is going at.
Wait. Okay. I got to write it down. Okay. So I've got male, albino, cherry snake skin. So he carries the albino gene, not the Dumbo and not the big ear. The females carry the big ear. But the babies are going to carry, the baby females are going to carry the albino and the big ear gene, and the males are just going to carry the albino. So they'll be half albino, half regular, and then the females will have both. So let me think. If I got to take the
boy, are you're making this way more complicated than it has to be.
I had it all figured out, and now I can't think of any of it.
You're bringing up a point that people don't understand, that some traits are linked to sex. Yes. Where if a fish has a Y chromosome, it'll display a certain trait, or if it has an X chromosome, it'll display a certain trait. But those are linked no matter what the sex of the fish is. It's how do you get the traits that you want transferred to the second generation.
Yeah.
And what I was getting at, and I was just curious what your plan was, sometimes sibling to sibling cross is not always the best way to get that.
Shouldn't I wait until they grow a little bit
well, yeah, you've got to grow your fish out and see what they look like, and pick which ones you want to work with.
So I would take the big ear, the females that are big ear, because they carry the albino gene, and breed them back to an albino male, right?
Right. See, what you want to do.
See, I had to think.
You started off with F0. Okay, yes. You've got your two parents, that's F0. Then you've got your first generation, that's F1. Then you grow those out. You have to pick the ones that have the traits that you want and breed them back to the F0. So you want to do it sounds gross when you talk about it in mammal, about mammals. But you want to do
we got father, here in the beginning.
Father to daughter, right, and mother to son.
Yeah. Yeah. But I want the big ear trait. See, the reason it gets confusing is because I'm not going for just one trait. I'm going for two. I'm going for the albino and for the big ear. And so since the females only carry the trait of the Dumbo, that's where things start getting confusing because I have these males over here, and what do I do with them?
I didn't know, you know, I could be wrong. I'm not a genetics expert at all, but I didn't think that albinoism was a trait that was attached to the sex chromosome X or Y.
I didn't think it was either. So really, I don't need the males. I just need the females that have the big ears in the F1s. And then I take them and breed them back to, or I breed them back to a different albino male. That way I've got diversity, but still albino cherry snakeskins. Right?
It gets complicated, and I wish you the best of luck with it. I was just curious.
Yeah.
There's a ton of different ways to go about getting something, and I was just curious on where you were going with the F2 generation, and it sounds like you've got a plan, so run with it and see what happens.
I'm trying. And then I've got my friend that's the biologist, not just Steven, but my friend John, that's the aquatic biologist. He's helping me with it too. But man, he can go off. I do not understand the X and the Y. I don't. If you start talking, well, this X chromosome, this Y chromosome goes with the FF, and then I don't understand that.
Yes, and I got to learn it because of angelfish, and there's certain traits in a fish's DNA that can be linked to sex, where, you know, a female will show a certain trait and a male won't. I mean, I mean, if you think about it and you look at the guppy, I mean, the male guppy is the one that has the gonopodium and the brighter colors, and where the female doesn't, you know. So those are traits that are linked to the X or Y chromosome. Yeah, some traits are linked to sex, but most aren't.
Okay, so the snake skin is a sex-linked trait?
No.
Is not a sex-linked trait?
No.
Okay. Oh.
Great. My dogs are making your dogs bark.
I know. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing it. I am doing it because I do want the outcome to be big ear cherry snakeskin, albino cherry snakeskins. That's what I want. That's what I'm going for. But it may not work that way. I may not succeed.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to try because that's a lot to pull out of all this.
I mean, try it. What's the worst that can happen?
Right. I get mutt guppies.
you get guppies that you're like, yeah, this wasn't what I was going for, but they look cool anyways, so I'm going to run with it.
Right. Oh, Chewy said that snakeskin is a sex link.
Well, okay, I did misspeak. Okay, the females that display the snakeskin pattern don't display the snakeskin pattern.
Right.
But I kind of meant it as
they don't show it. You just have to hope for it.
None of the color traits, none of the pattern traits show up on the female chromosome.
Right.
Female guppies look plain, and you know, you see a little bit of tail color. So, yeah, I did misspeak. So, and Chewy corrected me.
That one really throws me for a loop. But they shouldn't lose it if the females have it in the no, they don't. The males have it.
No, the females have it in their DNA. They just don't display it.
Okay, well, I started.
And that's what I kind of meant when I made the comment when you asked if snakeskin sex linked, and I said no, and Chewy corrected me because only the males show that pattern.
Right.
But the females do carry that trait in them. They just don't display it.
Okay, so how do I know if that female is going to carry that trait? I won't. I won't know until she has babies, and
You'll know if you take an F1 and breed it back to F0. I guarantee you they'll carry that trait. And I'll be right back. I got to figure out why my dogs are going nuts.
Mine are going nuts because of you. Hey, Kenny. Hey, Mike. Hey, Fish Dreams. Hey, S. Hey, Bob. Hey, everybody that I missed. Sorry. Castillo. Wait. Canstillo. Valley Cichlids. Bree, put you on a list for the first batch. The result. Albinism is recessive, not, it's right, not sexually. There's a lot of different pieces of these guppies that I'm trying to pull out at the end. And like I said, it may work, it may not work. And I may get something totally different and totally new. Why not, y'all? Banowski tanks. But I was excited because my first batch was born. Louisiana Empress Crown. I understand everything you were saying. I get you. Well, thank you, Patrick. I don't get myself sometimes, so I guess at least somebody else does. You're totally lost on all this. I understand a piece of it at a time, but I can definitely get confused. Like when we started talking about it, I had to do one of those, come back to myself, think about it, and then, albinism is just one of the recessive genes in guppies. If I remember correctly, there are 4. And then you get into the color wheel. Yeah, I'm curious to see what, with those Dumbo or big ear dark dragons, but see, they're dragons, so that pattern of the snake skin and dragon, regardless whether it's one or the other, should come through anyway. See, but Bob, I don't understand those. The FFs and the RR. I don't understand that. That's why I have to write down, like, okay, the first is this, the second is this, or should be this, and I take this and breed it back to this, and then this is what I should get here. I just don't understand, or don't understand. I don't know why I can't.
Oh, it gets complicated. Believe me. It gets extremely complicated.
And the only reason I'm even a half bit understandable with this stuff is because I did it with horses. When I was trying to get a blue roan, you got to breed this to that to get this and this to the, so to get the color that I wanted out of a baby, I had to do the DNA stuff. But again, I didn't do the FF and the, I didn't do any of that. It was, okay, I can do a black to a red, or to get this.
Correct.
So
and the letters actually don't mean anything per se. I mean, you can take a trait and name it whatever letter you want. It's just understanding what traits do what and how they're transferred from generation to generation. It gets extremely complicated.
Yeah.
And then when you get into the guppy thing, I'm going to go to, somebody made a comment about dragons. What color are the dragons? See, when you start talking about guppy genetics and stuff, then you get into this whole thing of what is an actual snake skin? What is a dragon? What is this? And people just name stuff what they want. there's a whole bunch of people that don't understand that a tuxedo guppy and a half black guppy are the exact same thing.
Chewy, you see the guppy that's behind me on this? That's the guppy. That's the dark dragon, which actually looks a lot like a red dragon, which may be a red dragon, but they called it a dark dragon.
But what is dragon? What specific trait makes a guppy a dragon? Because somebody just said, yeah, I'm going to call that a dragon.
The pattern that goes up the body throughout the tail, which is also snakeskin. A snakeskin goes, you know, from the body all the way throughout the tail. It's got a pattern all the way.
All right. See, snakeskin is a rosette pattern if you go by IFGA standards. Okay. All right. Snakeskin is supposed to be little rosettes that go along the body and spotted and just kind of randomly spotted kind of pattern. And some fish started exhibiting vertical up and down stripes at the caudal peduncle, you know, where the body meets the tail.
Right.
And that is what makes a dragon. Or actually, what's the other term? There's another term for it. But it's an incomplete snakeskin pattern is what makes what they call dragon. And you guys can't see me, but I was using air quotes. So, yeah, man, it gets extremely freaking complicated. My personal opinion on the whole subject is if you got to use more than 3 words to describe your guppy, yeah, it's a mutt. But that's me. I'm a guppy prude.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to answer the phone. That was that was the bet.
Nah, you didn't miss much. I was just explaining I'm a guppy prude.
I know, Bob. I had to answer the phone in class. So now, what's his name? Costello said that he's got it on Bluetooth, and the whole shop is hearing us talk guppy genetics.
Oh my God!
So
I feel sorry for your customers.
I think they're enjoying it. Albinoism will cancel out the black coloration. It'll invert it per se, right? It'll make the black dots like a orangey color, which is what it did in the snakeskin.
No, albinoism just makes the fish unable to produce melanin.
But with the I wish I could freaking hold up one hold up one and show them. I wonder. Oh, I have them on my thing. That's what I'll do. I know what I'll do. Let me do this.
I think what you're going for. Let's take. I generally do not want to talk about mammals and fish genetics at the same time, but I think what you're thinking of, Jess, is where if you take a normal German Shepherd and the white German Shepherd, they're genetically that pure white German Shepherd is exactly the same thing, except the gene that causes it to be white overlays the normal coloration, but that's not the case in albinoism. Albinoism is the inability to produce melanin. Melanin is the black pigment. That's why you get the red eyes and, you know, no color, is because the albinoism created a fish that's incapable of producing that particular pigment.
Okay, so this is my cherry snakeskins.
It's just a gorgeous fish, by the way.
Thank you. I agree.
I wouldn't call it a snakeskin, but it's a gorgeous fish.
Would you call it a grass?
Yeah, you could call it a grass because of the colors in the tail. Absolutely.
But what about the part that goes up the body?
I see with an albino, you don't get to see where the melanin would be, but you definitely don't see a snakeskin pattern, even though this fish might have came from a snakeskin pattern. You just don't see it. So when a judge looks at it, he's going to go, well, that's not a snakeskin.
So what would he call it?
I would call it an albino multi.
But when you think multi, you think multicolored.
Yeah. You could probably. I'm not a judge. I'm not an IFGA judge, but you might even be able to get away with just a. I don't know if they have an albino class. They should, because albinos are an entirely different animal than the regular ones. So, yeah.
But these are.
I should probably just shut up, and they're your guppies, and do what you want with them.
I'm learning.
But I'm not the person that you need to be learning from. I'm not an IFGA judge, so I should shut up, and I don't want to tell you misinformation.
AOC Delta is a class. So what does AOC mean?
All other color.
I love it.
No, in the IFGA, there are classes. There's a class for blue, like the American blues. There's a class for reds. There's a class for pastels. AOC is all other colors that don't fit into a particular class. So that is actually a thing.
Huh. Albino AOC Delta is the class for IFG. You're right, Terry. That's what he says. That is how they do it. Okay. It's multifasciatus when I don't know. Patrick, multicolor.
Multifasciatus is a cichlid.
Oh. What you throwing a cichlid up in here for, Patrick? We're just talking about guppies. You'll have a trio of these, Bob? Yep. They're in fact, they're having babies again. I got real thin on them and got worried I was going to get down and not have them anymore, but I was able to save them. And I have had 3 batches drop in the last few days. So I was like, whew, I was able to breathe. But I got to let some of them grow out, and then I'll have them for sale again. But there is someone that has a fish that looks almost identical to this one, but it isn't the same. It doesn't have the pattern that goes up the body like mine does. And they call theirs a grass. And like an albino.
Grass is a term for tail. If in the tail, if you've got a lot of little tiny black spots in it, that's called grass. Grass has got nothing to do with body at all.
Bob says dibs on the first trio. Well, okay, so we'll look at, actually, because of where it is on the, so you see the tree snake skins right there. And then if you look right here, can you see my cursor on the screen right there where you see that guppy right beside where you are, Terry?
No, I don't see there you go. I see it now.
Okay, so right over there. If I could keep my cursor going left. I can't keep my cursor going left. But if you guys
it's not working, Jess.
See that guppy there? Those are the 2 I'm crossing. That one and that one. So for a visual.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. You're doing the Dumbo ear to your albinos.
Yes. So it's those Dumbo ear dragons to my albinos to try to get a Dumbo albino.
Yeah, good luck with that. Let me know how it works.
Come on, Chewy. Tell me it'll work.
I got to be honest, Jess. I love talking to you about it.
Yeah.
But I've done guppies for years and years and years, and
Yeah.
I will have some soon. I promise.
Which ones you gonna get?
No, I don't know yet. But when I decide I want to do a line of guppies, I find the guy that's breeding the best of what I decide I want, and then I just try not to screw them up. You know, that's the whole way I go about keeping guppies. Is I just find one that I really, 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 really like, and then my entire goal is to not screw them up.
Right.
I don't try to mix lines. I don't. If I do an outcross, let's say I used to breed the half black pastels for quite a while, and I would occasionally do an outcross, but I wouldn't do an outcross until, you know, the fish I brought in to do that outcross. I would talk to that guy forever and find out every little bit of his genetics before I cross that new blood into my line.
Yeah, Chewy said you are more into maintaining a strain.
Right. I don't want to invent anything new. I just want to keep true with what I bought.
Well, but on the same aspect, even though I'm outcrossing a set of these, doesn't mean I don't want to keep those intact as well, though.
Right. And you know, that's the beauty of this hobby. You can do whatever you want.
Right. RB, Ricky said one of his cats just fell in the 55-gallon. Hate it when that happens.
I had when I bought this house, I had a bunch of these tanks, and they didn't have water in them or nothing. So when I finally decided to start putting tanks up down here, I had to vacuum and clean cat hair like you wouldn't believe out of every. I swear to God, cats look at a box and say, "I gotta sleep in it."
Uh-oh. What's going on?
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh my God. I'll be back in a minute. What the hell?
So guys, yeah, don't man, when it comes to guppy genetics, you can go down a rabbit hole forever. And the only way to make something new that's cool is to do what Jess is doing. It's just something I don't do. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you can play around with your guppies all you want. Aww.
Look who escaped. Escaped out of the pen. I know. So going to go get some shots today. Aw.
You can't compete with that.
I know. I just hate she's gonna grow up and then I can't just do this to her no more. They don't stay little. But she's still gonna be pretty girl. Yeah, still pretty girl. How did you get out? That's what I gotta find out. I gotta go get brothers and sisters. I gotta go find out how y'all got out.
I actually it was more my wife's dog, but I had some black labs that had puppies, and we had one that did that exact same as what Jess is going through. Every stinking container you could think of, we tried to keep all the puppies together, and one particular one would always escape. And my wife wound up keeping that dog. We had it for probably 17 years before we had to put her down, but we named her Convict. And people would be, you know, you'd be at the park and you'd be like, "Come on, Convict." And people would look and they're like, "Why in the hell did you name your dog Convict?" And we're like, "Well, because when she was a puppy, she escaped from everything we put her in." So I think one day I made the comment of, "Look, she looks like an escaped convict." And that name just kind of stuck. But yeah, I'd get a lot of weird looks at the dog park. Come here, convict.
Okay, I think I got him corralled again.
As long as my fish tanks aquatics brought up, you you buy a trio and you just colony breed, you just breed to breed, where you're doing sibling to sibling crosses each time, is particular. It's fine as long as the strain that you're trying to go for is breeding true. If the strain breeds true and you do a sibling to sibling cross, you'll probably be okay. But if that strain is not set very well, say it's maybe 50% set, where 50% of the fish look like the parents, you have to go back. You have to back cross back into the parents, because if you don't, eventually over time you will lose the trait that you originally bought.
Hey Chewy, which one is the mosaic pattern? The tail is a mosaic pattern. Are you talking about for my cherry snake skins? These are a mosaic pattern. How true are the percentages of
Chewy, I think, is just trying to reinforce what I just got done saying. When you do sibling to sibling crosses, it is particularly okay as long as the strain you got is set. Where most of the fish look like mom and dad. But if you have a strain that doesn't if only half the fish look like mom and dad, and you just keep colony breeding with sibling to sibling crosses, you're going to lose. You're going to lose the line from what the parents originally looked like.
Right. I did that when I first bought the half black pastels, and they bred and they bred and they bred in a 20-gallon, just bred and bred and bred and bred. I ended up sending the whole line to Father Fish. I was done with them. But I started having some funky fish. So I learned. I didn't know. I learned the dots are not tight enough for a snakeskin or a lace. Okay. Even on the dragons?
Well, snakes. Well, Chewy. I'm a little confused with your comment, because snakeskin is a body pattern and not a tail, and lace is a tail. So I don't know. Please kind of explain that just a little more.
Part of guppy patterns.
And like I said, dragon is just a variant of a snakeskin pattern.
I wish I could make it bigger.
Okay, all right. The very first guppy you see, upper left-hand corner, the one you got your cursor on, that's a grass. It's got the little black dots on its tail. And the little black dots should be on the dorsal as well. In IFGA, the dorsal fin and the tail fin should match. If they don't, then that's an issue. Okay, so that's grass, because it's got the little black in the tail. The next one, what does that say? Blue-green?
Bluegrass. Bluegrass.
When you start getting into the greens and purples, you're basically looking at a blue guppy. The difference isn't in the color of the fish; it's in the difference of the reflectability of the God damn it. I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to say it. A green guppy is a blue guppy, except when the light hits it, it reflects back green.
Yeah, right.
And it's the same with the purples and stuff like that.
That whole top line is all grasses. Now, the second line, the second one over, this one right here, the Medusa, that looks a lot like...
That would go in the multi. That would go in a multi class. And that guppy wouldn't score very well because it's got a horrible dorsal.
Oh, yeah.
The dorsal doesn't match the tail. And but that would go into a multi-class because it's a multicolored fish.
But is that an AOC?
No.
No.
Well, you can enter it into an AOC, but it would probably be better suited in the multiple class, you know, multicolored guppy class.
Man, I've never seen a red grass like that. That's pretty. I've never seen one like that.
I actually not exactly like that picture, but I did have some kind of reddish grass looking guppy. I'll have to email you some pictures of it.
Okay.
But,
let's see, like Cobra. Oh, hang on. Chewy says Russian snake skins, Terry. If you look at the grays, the tight pattern goes down the whole fish. If it's not tight, it is referred to as a cobra.
Yeah, see, that's a word. Remember I said earlier, I was like, there's another word for it, and I couldn't remember. And cobra was what I was trying to remember. Terry, if you look at Doug Gray's, the tight green pattern goes down the whole fish. If it's not tight, it is referred to as cobra. Chewy, I'm going to have to disagree with you, buddy. I love you to death, and we're all allowed to have our opinion.
Yeah.
Cobra was the word I was looking for, not dragon. When you take a snakeskin pattern and the snakeskin pattern goes down the side of the fish, when it gets to the caudal peduncle and there are vertical bars, you can see in that one we were talking about that we would put in a multi-class, you see those vertical bars?
Right there.
That's called the cobra trait. A cobra trait is a snakeskin, but I can't explain where the vertical bars came from. They just showed up. But a cobra is a snakeskin, but it's an incomplete snakeskin. And when you see them vertical bars at the caudal peduncle is a cobra. And then people took... And this is when it just gets ugly because people took the names and then they expanded them and called them dragon and people just make up names just
so dragon really isn't a thing. Like it's really not like a basic pattern.
What's that?
Dragon?
Yeah, dragon's just something. It's just a term somebody made up to sell guppies.
Oh. So if we go back here and look at that, they're big dots. And the big dots go to the what the heck? The top fin. The beginning of the top fin, right behind the gills. So I mean it's a lot like a grass, or
it's more of a multi. See, you're talking an albino fish, so we don't get to see the complete fish.
Right.
An albino fish is missing the ability to produce other pigments, so we're not seeing exactly what that guppy would look like. So it's hard to class. You know, I can't tell for sure if that's an actual snakeskin or if it's a cobra or what, because the pigments that produce that particular color trait we can't see because that fish doesn't have the ability to produce them.
Dragon contains many genetics, including metallic.
Cobra is not a tail trait.
I'm sorry.
Cobra has absolutely nothing to do with the tail. The cobra
body
has to do with the body.
Cherry snake skins also have pink gene in it, which is a magenta. How? What is that? What you would call these two? Chewy, you call these the AOC just a AOC albino, or would you put it in that cherry snake skin?
Well, first of all,
the tail doesn't.
Hold on, just AOC is not a catch-all.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
You have to put. You still have to put your guppy in the appropriate class. Okay, whether it's a bicolor, a multicolor, or a solid color. Okay, if you have a solid color guppy and it's not blue or red or whatever that particular show is giving individual classes for, AOC just means all other color. So there's an AOC for solid color. There's an AOC for bicolor. There's an AOC for multicolored. Did that make any sense?
Yeah.
The show you're going to show is going to have, they're going to have a category for blue guppies. They're going to have a category for red guppies. They're going to have a category for yellow or pastel guppies. Okay. If your guppy doesn't fit that particular color, then it goes into AOC, which means all other colors or any other color. That's what it means. But there's an AOC for a solid colored fish. There's an AOC for a bicolored fish, meaning it's only two colors. And there's an AOC for a multicolored fish.
And they're not
so
one for
it's not like you go to the show and if your fish doesn't meet whatever class, you just throw it into an AOC. That's not how it works.
John Larson, I thought AOC is in Washington, D.C. Bye, Ricky. If I was entering them in the World Guppy Association as the the cherry pink cobra, and you would be fine. Cherry pink cobra. Albino cherry pink cobra.
I just don't know how, looking at that picture, I don't know how it could be called cobra. Because the fish doesn't produce the pigments that cause the cobra trait. So how do you call it a cobra? The only way you'd know is what what was the original line before the albinoism started.
I have no clue.
Yeah, there's no way to know.
In fact, I can't even tell you who I got them from now. I don't remember. I got them off Aquabid. And I have not seen them since. But they breed pretty true. I never get any dark ones.
Well, Chewy, you got better eyes than I do because I don't see a cobra trait in that body. I don't see a snakeskin trait in that body.
The only thing that doesn't come out with some of the males is sometimes the dots in the body they don't show. And so, of course, those are the males that I cull, but they too are still amazing in color. It's a iridescent sheen in the body when they don't show up with the orange dots in the body.
Now, Chewy brought up a really good point, and I want to say, this whole conversation we had, we were just talking IFGA.
Yeah, we're just talking.
If you want to go WGA, then you're exactly right. You can call them something cobra, dragon, whatever, and there's a huge difference between the IFGA and the WGA.
Right. We were talking about that before. Generally, the line in body wise is not well bred. Wait, what? The line in the body, like the dots? isn't well bred, meaning that it doesn't come through as good as it should, or you're going to have some that are always going to not have it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. He'll comment again. He's always giving little snippets in the chat, so I'm sure he'll clarify.
Right.
But yeah, Jess, that's a gorgeous fish. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, I love them. But it all started because I want to cross the two. These two, right? Those two.
Yeah, I've never tried to mix my lines. I was taught early on when I started keeping guppies that that it was so frowned upon that in my fish keeping, okay, we can have differences and still be really, really, really good friends.
You bet.
In my keeping guppies, I just want to keep that line as true as possible.
Right.
And that's my goal is, honest to God, when I get a new strain of guppies that I've never had before, and I'm really proud because I'm really picky, I do. When I buy a strain of guppies, and eventually I will have some, I go to that breeder's house and I look at his lines and I'll pick my fish out. And when I do, the whole drive home, I'm like, please, God, don't let me screw these up. Because it's really easy to lose a dorsal fin.
Yeah.
It's really easy to screw a guppy up.
Right.
So, that's my whole goal was just to keep it as true as to what I bought to begin with.
Yeah. I like to keep it, like I said, I'm keeping that one strain the way it is, and making it better. But I want to see if I can do this other one. I don't know. I always want to create something. And
there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, Jess. Right. So please don't take it that way. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong or bad. And I would like to see the results. It'd be really interesting to see it.
See, like on these guys right here, I have a hard time with the males coming out with the pattern, the mosaic pattern in the tail. About half of them don't. They're solid orange. They're still pretty, but they don't have the mosaic pattern, which the females do. You can see that the females have it, but the part in the female I don't like is this line right here. You can see where it's almost just a clear line throughout the middle of the tail. So I'm trying to get the females so they have the full pattern there. And then the males that have the mosaic pattern, they all have the mosaic pattern there. Like this female is better. She's got more of the mosaic pattern. But what happened is I had a whole batch of them and I had all females. I didn't have any males. Like that was the oddest thing. No males. And then the second batch, I've got a few males, but they don't have a good enough mosaic tail to them. So, or they don't at the moment. Now, it does take them a long time to pattern out, too. A lot of these with the patterns on them, like the cherry snakes, well, the ones I call the cherry snake skins and all, it takes them, the males, a little bit to come out with their full pattern to about 3 or 4 months of age almost.
Well, generally, albinos, it's a known fact in the hobby that albinos usually take longer that they don't develop as quickly.
Yeah. The theme, okay. In the IFG, they are very much into making a strain better, not making new.
Yeah, in the Asian strains, it's quite common to see a male that'll display one color and a female that displays another. That's quite common.
Danny,
where in the IFGA, they actually do have a class where you display a male and the female. The pairs. There's a pairs class, and you'll score really low with the Asian strains because the females don't match the males. Where, yeah, the whole idea of that whole class is you've got let's say a red male, and that female should have a red tail as well.
Right. Patty, you didn't press play. Oh, well, buddy. But yeah, so I mean, that's another strain I really, really, really like, but it still needs a lot of work.
No, they're gorgeous fish.
Yeah, I really like them, and I don't know why I'm attracted to the albinos so much, and not all albinos though, but those and the snakeskins are.
See, stop right there. Okay, the second fish down.
Where? Right here. That one right there?
Right there. That is cobra. See what I'm saying? Where you have the rosettes for snakeskin, and then the bars start, the up and down vertical bars.
Yeah.
That's cobra. Whereas the next fish down, the rosettes just continue through the body. Yeah. That's snakeskin. So you got cobra and snakeskin. The vertical bars up and down by the caudal peduncle is what denotes cobra. When the rosettes, when the spotted pattern goes all the way through the caudal, like at the bottom fish in the second picture. That is, from what I can see, that's actually a snakeskin.
This one?
No, go down to the next picture.
Oh, where that one?
The very bottom fish.
Yeah.
See how the rosettes go all the way through the body?
Correct.
That's snakeskin. Whereas the vertical bars at the caudal peduncle is called cobra.
So if the well, heck, I don't know where to put mine. Because it doesn't start until after the pectoral fins, and it's bigger dots until you get to the tail, and then it's like a mosaic on the tail.
Well, see, you can't see. That's where people get confused. Is there's body traits and then there's tail traits.
Right.
Cobra refers to a body trait, not a tail trait.
Yeah.
Grass. What's the other ones? You know.
Type. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Thanks for the thumbs up.
There's a bunch of terms that you can use to describe a guppy's tail.
Hey, somebody asked, what is your favorite guppy of all time?
What is my particular favorite of all time is just the standard American blue. It started it all, and I love the American blue.
Oh, Chewy said that we're trying to classify a fish by IFG standards, which the fish is not bred for.
Correct. Chewy, you are 100% correct. When we're using these terms, and I'm talking IFGA, and you want to talk WGA, we're comparing apples to oranges, and it's so incredibly difficult to do. And Chewy is 100% correct.
Right.
If we want to talk WGA standards, then I'll just shut up and you guys can go, because I know nothing about it. And the terms are different. Oh. You know what I mean? The whole terminology is different. So it's really hard for me to talk to somebody. If I was talking to somebody at a WGA show, we'd both be looking at each other going, what are you talking about? Because we don't speak the same language.
Right. Huh. You have WGA guppies. Yeah. Huh. I don't know.
There was a huge split back in. I love the IFGA. I really do. I love the whole concept of the idea, but the IFGA kind of dropped the ball. They didn't do a very good job of bringing new people into the hobby, and it wound up just being a whole bunch of elitist. You know, oh, you have to. You know, they really got to become a really closed group, to the point where a whole bunch of other people that were breeding guppies, you know, a whole different way. Now, whether they bred them, you know, yeah, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But anyways, a whole bunch of other people had a bunch of really cool looking guppies that didn't fit into any of the classes at an IFGA show. So they said, well, screw it. We'll just start our own organization. And that's how the World Guppy Association started. And their rules are entirely different. Their classes are entirely different. They look at the guppies in an entirely different manner than the IFGA does. So it's, yeah, you can't compare apples to oranges.
Or potato.
Yeah, and even Chewy's like, yeah, don't go down the politics of guppies. That's how I wound up getting kicked out of the IFGA Facebook page to begin with. I'll be right.
I don't know if y'all haven't figured it out yet. I love talking about all of it. Even though I haven't gotten to actually show one yet. But I love talking about the genetics and this and everything. Fish dreams. Hey, Skipper. Not long, Skipper. I've got to take the puppies to the vet, and it's 1. So I don't know. And I need to kind of clean up their area before I leave. So, I don't know. A few more minutes. If you want to jump up here and talk, we can. Terry, where'd you go? You got quiet. Really quiet.
Oh, I stepped away.
Oh.
Sorry.
I said,
My cat just tried to pee in a bucket of blasting sand. Yeah. I see that happening.
Oh, that is why I said the albino may be able to be entered in the IFGA, and to be safe, I would put it in the class of albino AOC. Huh. Does it matter, like, on age of a guppy when you enter them?
You can't see. Chewy's on the right track, but I don't know if I'd put it in AOC because it's not a solid colored tail. I would put it in the albino multi class. But anyways, what were you saying?
When you do that, when you show them, do they have to be a certain age?
No.
Oh, okay. They just need a match. You just need to have like 3 males that match.
No.
No.
You can just show 1 fish.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
All the classes are just male based only. Then if you get into the classes, you can show pairs or you can show trios. And help me out, Chewy. What's the group? I think they have a group class where you have to show like 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you have all males, you have to have like 6 matching males. And they all have to look the same.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch of there's tons and tons and tons of different classes of guppies that the IFGA recognizes.
There is only one albino class, though, that is now around, and it is called the albino AOC from the show results of the last year's showing.
Okay,
Yes.
so there is no differentiate. There is no differentiate. God dang it!
I get it. Different. Yeah, I can't say it either, but that word.
So from a solid colored guppy as to a multi-colored guppy in the albino class, I guess they all just get grouped together. But
Andre, so many guppy nerds, and you're a cichlid nerd.
I'm a cichlid nerd too, man. Trust me, I love my cichlids, but you gotta love guppies. Guppies is a rabbit hole that a lot of people go down, and they just stick with it for years.
Yeah,
it's just guppies are one of those fish that you just keep keeping while you do other stuff too.
Yeah, like, and that's why I'm getting rid of some lines, because I found out which ones it is that I like the most, and those are the ones that I want to keep. Not just a whole bunch of them, but just 5 or 6 strains that I like the most.
Yeah, and you really, I don't want to throw anybody under the carpet or say anything, but it's something that I see in the hobby is people will get real excited about guppies. And let's say they got 8 10-gallon tanks, and they have eight different strains of guppies.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work out long term. No. You're not going to be able to breed a sustainable fish. When I get one trio of guppies and I decide, okay, this is a strain I want, and I want to maintain it, that one strain takes the other 8 tanks to maintain.
Right. Yeah.
It's not as easy as people think.
No.
And there are some very popular YouTubers out there that kind of recommend the whole colony breeding thing. Yeah. And every time I hear it, I just want to cringe, and I'm just like, man, I really wish they wouldn't say that.
I think it depends on the person too, where they want to go with it. If they
exactly,
I'm
not here to tell somebody how to keep their fish.
No, none of us are.
You're 100% allowed to do what you want. I just,
Chewy, but we can't get him to. I can't get him to. Well, I can get him in. Actually, he's never been in one of my chats. Huh.
I try Stephen Qualter. Stephen Qualter is really good. Oh God, what's the guy in Michigan? Doug Ray is really good too. Don't get me wrong. Doug Ray really knows his stuff.
There's a guy, the Chewable.
I can't think of his name.
Chewable. He's got the Chewable greens. He's a big.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah, that's not the person I was thinking of, but yeah, it's a Schobel.
Yeah,
definitely another guy. There's quite a few guys that are way better at guppies than I am. So,
right.
Like I said, when I buy a trio, I just don't want to screw them up. I don't
World's
try to do anything
What's up?
else.
Yeah.
No, Stephen Qualter does not do WGA. He's strictly IFGA. God, how did we wind up in this guppy rabbit hole?
I love it. I love it. Where are you going, Skipper? Didn't you just text me? I know you did. I just answered you on here, though.
Doug's photography is fantastic. That guy takes pictures of some really fantastic guppies.
Yeah, for real. For real. I enjoy it. I could talk guppies all day long. Don't
get me wrong. I love guppies. I really, truly do. But it's definitely a rabbit hole.
Yep.
And the money you can spend.
Godly.
Incredible.
No doubt. Even the little bit that I've spent, and that's not even showing yet. But Doug's photos are in some of the Philip Shadrick's books. He has his books. Doug likes you, Chewy. Well, get him to come on with me. Doug likes to develop new strains.
And yeah, I got no problem with people doing that at all. Have at it, because that's the only way we're going to get new cool fish.
Right.
And I'm not even against the WGA. Even though I'm an IFGA guy, I'm not against the WGA.
I know he won't.
I just don't like some of their practices. I'm not a big fan of recipe type guppies.
Yeah.
And you know, I think if you're going to produce something for the world, it should breed true.
Then why don't you get wild guppies?
Why don't I get wild guppies?
Yeah. If you want one
because they're too tiny and everything else I've ever kept, they'll just eat them.
Oh. I love Doug's videos. I love his corny jokes. I don't know. I think when you make a new strain, you got, I mean, of course it's not true until it breeds true, but then there's that whole conversation that we've had before of, is it really true?
It takes a long time to, if you pick a certain trait.
Peplin, okay, I've tried. I have done it.
Let's just say you draw a picture of a guppy and this is what you want the guppy to look at or look like. And then you find males and females that you think are going to get you there. It takes, 10, 20 years to get that to actually breed true. Even if you are successful to do it to begin with.
Yeah.
A strain isn't considered breeding true until at least 70% of the fry look like the parents.
Right. Patrick, how are you?
And even at 70%, if you're colony breeding, you're eventually going to lose that line because there's 30% of the fry that are different. And yeah, even at 70%, which is considered true breeding or breeding true, you're still going to lose the line if you colony breed it.
Yeah. I think I've got green dragons, red dragons, blue dragons, and albino. No, and I'm trying to make albino dragons pretty much.
All right. So dragon is a real popular term in the WGA. Okay. What does dragon mean?
I don't know.
What makes a guppy a dragon?
In my eyes, when I think of dragon, I think that pattern has to go from at least the pectoral fin, under the pectoral fin, and all the way throughout the tail.
What pattern?
And it's almost like well, some of them are kind of different. Like you've got almost like a mosaic that goes all the way throughout the body.
See, mosaic's another term that's in the WGA. That's not found in the IFGA. So I don't even know what makes a mosaic a mosaic. See, these are all terms. Yeah. See, that's what I was getting at about we're talking an entirely different language.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe grass that went all the way throughout the body?
No, grass is a tail term. In the IFGA, grass is a tail trait, not a body trait.
Then what would grass be in a body trait in the IFGA then? Lace?
There isn't one. No, lace is a tail trait. You have snake skins or you don't have snake skin.
Then I guess it would be
if the body is, if the body has rosettes in it, it's called a snake skin. As long as the rosette pattern goes all the way through the body. Or or you can have half black, which in the WGA they call tuxedo.
Uh-huh.
And or it should just be a normal color. You know, there isn't any lace and grass are tail terms. In a particular, like if you have a blue lace, it'll be more thin lines going through the tail.
Right.
Blue background, and grass is dots.
Well, then I don't know. I guess, I mean, to me, that's what a dragon is. It was like you would take a mosaic pattern and run it all the way up through the body. But that they just call that a dragon. Not in the IFGA, though, of course. And I don't know who, I have no clue who started calling them dragons.
Yeah, somebody just made up a term and just said, hey, man, I'm going to sell some guppies. We're going to call these suckers dragon.
You're right. You're right. For sure.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're good at marketing and you can sell your fish, have at it. I got no problem with it.
We'll call mine party time.
There you go.
Because you put your guppies together, it's party time.
There you go. That'd be a cool name. Party Time Aquatics.
There you go.
I'm on it.
You're on it. You got it. All right. Well, on that note, you guys, it'd gone almost 2 hours, actually 3 hours and 15 minutes because we forgot about the hour where I accidentally killed the stream. But I've got to get ready to get these puppies to the vet, and I need to clean up their area before I go. So I've got to go. I don't know if Bree's going to go or not without me in a little while. If she can find an adult to be on with her, she'll go. And then that'll be the next one that comes on, I guess, because Mike's not going. So there'll be a break in between for a little while. But Terry, thank you so very much for being up here with me today. Are you there? You stepped away. Well, I guess we'll wait till he comes back because I can't shut it down without him. Actually, I could kick him out, but that would be rude. I know, BJ. We've gone for so long, and you just got here. All right, Terry, did you hear me?
No, I just got back.
I said thank you very, very, very much for being up here with me today. I enjoy the heck out of your company.
Why? I didn't do anything.
Yes, you did.
Did not.
Better than me sitting up here by myself.
I know what that feels like.
Right? See, everybody says great stream. Everybody enjoyed the heck out of it. If it had been dull, we'd have stopped 2 hours ago.
Well, all right. Well, if we do this again, let's not go down the guppy rabbit hole because I think we just bored the heck out of a whole bunch of people.
No, we have held 30 plus people the entire time.
That's so amazing. I told you you're eventually, man, you're going to pass me up, and man, before you know it, you're going to have a couple thousand subscribers. You're going to do really well.
Well, that would be fine, but I'm still going down guppy holes. I enjoy it too much. Unless we can find another hole to go down.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Trust me.
I hear you. Yeah, everybody's got to go run their errands and everything for the day. So,
yeah. You guys all have fun. Enjoyed being here. Yeah. Jess, sometime you're going to have to come on with me as soon as I figure out this StreamYard thing.
And then I'm gonna let me throw my phone number in private chat real quick, and then you can call me and I can walk you through StreamYard, okay?
All right. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. There we go. All right.
You guys hear that? That was my ink pen. I'm actually writing down Jess's number.
Aw. Endless holes in this hobby. I know, right, Peplin? Greg, another great hole. go down the Endler hole next time, Patrick? Well,
Oops.
maybe. I have Endlers.
Oh, don't even get me started on. You said Endlers, didn't you?
I did.
Why did you say Endlers?
Because Patrick said to do it. He said, go down the Endler hole next time.
I can tell you right now, you do not have Endlers. You might think you have Endlers,
you're right.
but you do not have Endlers.
Probably not.
There's only one. First
nope, wait, nope. This is for another time. We gotta wait.
Damn it!
We'll do that tomorrow. Wait, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's.
Gotta end it. Hashtag Endlers are guppies.
Yes, they are. All right. As that said, I love you guys.
You guys all have fun. We'll talk about Endlers tomorrow.
That's right. We'll talk about Endlers tomorrow. I love y'all. See y'all later.
Later.